Hey guys, how's it going? So if you clicked on the video, you know what I'm going to talk to you about. What I want to talk to you guys about is speech impediments. I want to talk to you about dealing with speech impediments. If you're watching this and say you're in speech therapy currently, or whatever it may be, maybe you struggle with it, I just kind of want to share with you my story. I also want to share with you what I'm doing currently, what I've found that has helped me, what support I've received during my lifetime to sort of ease my impediment. So quick background story is when I was younger, I had a pretty big speech impediment where I couldn't pronounce a lot of words, or sometimes I would try and say something, I would read it, or even I would think it, and just it would come out and it would be all jumbled. And so I did speech therapy, I believe from K through 5th grade. And that seemed to really help, it really did. With that, I didn't receive any more additional support after that, but I always noticed my speech impediment when I would get nervous, and I was deathly afraid of speaking publicly. It scared me so much because I felt like I would get so anxious about it that literally I would try and speak and it would come out all jumbled up, and because of that, then it made me more nervous, and then it just was this vicious cycle of continually jumbled words that were coming out of my mouth. So, funny story now, we can fast forward this, into the future now. So now I'm 23. Ironically, I work in a field, I technically teach a class at a college at the moment while I'm in grad school. So I do a lot of public speaking. It's technically my job, which is slightly ironic coming from a kid who had a speech impediment. And if you watch my videos, like in this video, I've already, again, because if you're watching this and you have a speech impediment, you're hyper vigilant of your words. And as you can tell, if you rewind this video, I have done it twice now. And I don't know if you want to rewind and find the spots that I sort of slipped up with my words. It hasn't fully gone away, but I've come to terms with my speech impediment. I have learned very good coping mechanisms. I have learned what enhances the issue and what helps it. So for me now, I have done a lot of public speaking. Granted, I have so much more to do, but I've done enough now where I've gotten comfortable speaking in front of people, and I've gotten comfortable with the fact that I have this impediment, and I still make mistakes. I still do. I'll still say something, and it will come out all jumbled up, and I've just come to terms with, when I was younger, I would get so upset about it, and I would internalize it, and it would make me mess up in the future. And now I'm at the point now where I've realized that everybody has stuff wrong with them. Everyone's blessed in different ways, and everyone is sort of burdened in different ways, and this is one of my burdens that I have to carry with me. And I don't know why I have this, but it's here, and I gotta deal with it. So this is me dealing with it. But when I sort of realized that, it's okay if I'm talking to somebody, if I'm talking to you guys right now and I mess up, which I've already done again twice in this video, if I mess up, that is fine. Most of the time, your audience is not even gonna notice you messing up. Most of the time, it's you who notices it. And then you think about it and you dwell on it, and it makes things worse. So here's my tips for you. So if you deal with a speech impediment, or you're having an issue with public speaking, and you get nervous and words come and they come out all jumbled up when you talk. One, just if you make a mistake, keep going. Don't think about it, just keep going. And I promise you, a majority of the people that are listening to you talk are not even gonna notice it. So just don't think about it, don't dwell on it, go, just continue to go. The second tip I would tell you is, for me personally, I find that my impediment is tied to two things. It's tied to one, when I get nervous to talk in front of people, which usually if you're nervous to talk in front of people, that's usually because it's either one, an uncomfortable situation, or two, you're not comfortable with the content that you're going to talk about. So if you have to give a presentation, make sure that you're very comfortable and knowledgeable with the content that you're going to deliver. And if you are, then most likely you're going to be able to speak about that content very fluently. So just make sure that you prepped up in advance for it. So I went off on a tangent there. I felt like I was going to give you another tip, but I'm not sure where I was going with it. Oh, yes, I was. So for me personally, it's tied to anxiety, but also it's tied to when I talk fast. If I talk fast, which sometimes I do, I have a tendency to talk fast, as you can see. But when I talk a little bit slower and I sort of process what I want to say, I notice that it doesn't happen as much. Whereas when I'm talking and I'm just spewing out words, then a lot of times that's when I mess up. So for my tip number 2, I would tell you, if you do deal with this or you do struggle with this, try slowing down your talk a little bit. Try thinking about and articulating whatever you want to say sort of in advance in your head, and then kind of let it go nice and smooth out. So just be very mindful of the speed at which you're talking. And I think if you talk a little bit slower, then most likely you'll find that you probably won't sort of get affected as much by this. So there we go. Those are my tips for you. So hopefully this helps somebody. Again, if you have a speech impediment, one, please, again, it is not an end-all be-all. Like, I can attest to that. I had a speech impediment. I did speech therapy for God knows how many years, and now I give presentations for a job. That's like literally what I do for a job, is I talk with people on a daily basis and talk with them over the phone. I talk with them in person. I meet with them. I give presentations. You know, don't think that just because you have a speech impediment, this limits your opportunities in any way, because it does not. The only way that it limits you, you're honestly more limited by your attitude toward your speech impediment than you are by the impediment. Because I'm telling you personally, again, you have this and you struggle with it, but you can overcome it. It's fine. Use some of these tips. Google some other tips on sort of overcoming speech impediments, and you will be fine. Practice public speaking, and it will work out for you. So don't feel like you're limited because of this. Your job opportunities or your future opportunities will, if you work hard enough, won't be affected by this. So there you go. That is my story. I'm sharing it with you guys. I've gotten to the point now where it's not a sensitive issue anymore. It used to be very sensitive. It was something I never talked about because I didn't want people to realize that I had this. I didn't want them to think, sometimes people associate speech impediments with being unintelligent or being less intelligent. And I didn't want people to associate me with that sort of stereotype, so I never really shared it. But now I'm at the point where I'm very comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with dealing with it, with my struggle, and I just kind of want to share with you guys, share those tips with you, because if it helps you, then that is the point of this video. If these tips help you, then I will be happy with the 10-15 minutes that it took me to make this. So there you go. I hope this helped. I'll talk with you guys later, and that is all. I'm gonna go outside and enjoy the day. Oh my gosh.